Hi, I am B.R. Patil, the founder, president and the principal of KVV Samiti's Sri N.V. Patil Memorial PU College, Vijaypur. I welcome you to my another video. In today's video, I will discuss some important JEE questions on the chapter Motion in Two Dimensions or Motion in a Plane. Here we start with the first question. Two guns A and B can fire bullets at speeds 1 km per second and 2 km per second respectively. From a point on a horizontal ground, they are fired in all possible directions. The ratio of maximum areas covered by the bullets fired by the two guns on the ground is. The options are: first one 1:16, second one 1:2, third 1:4 and 4 1:8. A sends the bullets at a speed of 1 km per second and gun B fires the bullet at a speed of 2 km per second. Now the question is, if both the guns are placed on the ground and if they are fired in all the directions, then what will be the ratio of area covered by the bullets fired from gun A and gun B? Now, when a gun is fired in all the directions, then what happens? The bullets will fall in the form of a circle, right? And what is the maximum distance covered by the bullets? That is the range. Here, bullet fired from a gun can be considered as a projectile. The range of a projectile is given by R is equal to U square sin square theta by G. So this implies that R is directly proportional to U square here, because here sin theta and G, these are numerical values, they are constant. Therefore R is directly proportional to U square. But we have to find the ratio of the areas. The area of the bullets will fall in the form of circle. The area of the circle is pi r square. So this implies that area is directly proportional to r square. Because pi is a constant, therefore area is directly proportional to r square. Here area is directly proportional to r square, but r is proportional to u square. So in place of r, if you substitute u square, then this implies, or this is proportional to, A is proportional to r square will be proportional to u raised to 4. That means A is proportional to u raised to 4. Therefore here we can write A1 by A2 is equal to u1 raised to 4 divided by u2 raised to 4. Here A1 u2 raised to 4. Here A1 is area covered by the bullets from gun A and A2 is area covered by the bullets from gun B. And U1 is velocity of the bullet from gun A and U2 is velocity of the bullets from gun B. Velocity of the bullet from gun A is 1 km, so 1 raised to 4, and U2 is 2, so 2 raised to 4. 1 raised to 4 by 2 raised to 4 is 1 by 16. So this is the answer. Ratio of the areas is 1:16. Two forces P and Q of magnitude 2F and 3F respectively are at an angle theta with each other. If the force Q is doubled, then their resultant also gets double. Then the angle theta is the options 1 120, 2 60 degree, 3 90 degree and 4 30 degree. In this problem it is given that there are two forces P and Q. The magnitude of P is 2F and the magnitude of Q is 3F and the angle between the two forces is theta. Now if the magnitude of Q is doubled, then the resultant is also doubled. Then what is the angle between the two forces? We have to find the angle between the two forces, that is theta. We have to find out the value of theta. Okay, first the resultant of these two forces is given by R is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Okay, you already know this formula. Therefore, you can write R square. When we square this square root will go. Then you will get R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. In the problem it is given that if the magnitude of Q is doubled, then the magnitude of resultant also gets doubled. Therefore, when Q is doubled, then this equation can be written as resultant also gets doubled. Therefore, R becomes 2R. So 2R square is equal to P square. Q is doubled here. Therefore, we write it as 2Q square. Then plus 2P, and in place of Q I will write 2Q cos theta. Then question is, what is the value of theta? Okay. Yes. Now dividing these two equations, this equation divided by this equation, here it becomes 4R square. 4R square divided by R square, we will get 4. Dividing second equation by first equation, 4R square divided by R square, 4. Then this divided by this, P square plus 4Q square plus 4PQ cos theta divided by this one, P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Now cross multiplication, bring it to this side, then it becomes 4P square plus 4Q square plus 8PQ cos theta is equal to P square plus 4Q square plus 4PQ cos theta. Okay. Now here 4Q square gets cancelled. Then you bring it to here. 4P square minus P square is 3P square. You send it other side. Then 4PQ cos theta minus 8PQ cos theta means minus 4PQ cos theta. Now we want the value of cos theta. Therefore, cos theta is equal to 3P square divided by minus 4PQ. Cos theta is equal to 3P square divided by 4PQ. That is equal to here 1P gets cancelled. So 3P by 4Q. But P and Q values are given here. 3P value is 2F divided by 4 and Q value is 3F. So F gets cancelled. Then 2 ones are 2 twos are, and 3 gets cancelled. So we will get, and here minus sign is there, so minus, we will get minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 means minus cos 60 degree. You know that cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. Or you can write it as cos of 180 minus 60, because here minus sign is there. Minus sign means this comes in the second quadrant. In second quadrant we write 180 minus 60. That is cos 120 degree. Therefore, cos 120. This implies theta is equal to 120 degree. Therefore, the angle between the two forces is 120 degree.
Next question. A particle is moving with a velocity v is equal to k yi plus xj, where k is a constant. The general equation for its path is Option 1, y equal to x square plus constant. Option 2, y square equal to x plus constant. Option 3, y square equal to x square plus constant. Option 4, xy equal to constant.
Here, velocity of the projectile is given as v is equal to k yi plus xj. We have to find the equation for trajectory of this projectile. Equation of a trajectory will be in terms of displacement or in terms of position. But here velocity is given. From velocity we have to obtain displacement. So from velocity we can obtain displacement by doing integration. So before that, here let me split this velocity into x and y components. Okay. So first, velocity along x-axis is given by ky, because here I is unit vector along x-axis. So the velocity along x-axis can be written as ky. Similarly, velocity along y-axis can be written as kx. This implies velocity means dx by dt. It is velocity along x-axis, so we take displacement along x-axis. Therefore, it is dx by dt is equal to ky. Similarly, we can write it as dy by dt is equal to kx. Now, dividing these two equations, this divided by this, we get dx by dt divided by dy by dt is equal to ky divided by kx. Now here k gets cancelled and the dt gets cancelled. So this implies dx by dy is equal to y by x. Or we can write it as, if you bring it this side and send it other side, then we can write it as x dx is equal to y dy. Now let us integrate it on both sides. Now integration of x dx becomes x square by 2. Similarly, integration of y becomes y square by 2, and then we write a constant. We write a constant c. Now multiplying throughout the equation by 2, we get x square is equal to y square plus 2c. 2c is again a constant. So the equation of trajectory is x square equal to y square plus constant. This is the answer.
The next question is, the position coordinates of a particle moving in a 3D coordinate system is given by x equal to a cos omega t, y equal to a sin omega t, and z equal to a omega t. The speed of the particle is, the options are, first one square root of a omega, second a omega, third square root of 3 a omega, fourth one 2 a omega.
Here position coordinates of a particle are given. X equal to a cos omega t, y equal to a sin omega t, and z equal to a omega t. We have to find its velocity. Okay. Yes. First we will find velocity along x-axis. Velocity along x-axis is given by Vx equal to dx by dt. That means we differentiate x with respect to t. Then here a is constant, we write it as it is. Differentiation of cos x is minus sin x, but differentiation of cos ax is minus a sin ax. Similarly here differentiation of cos omega t is minus sin omega t. So we can write minus a omega sin omega t. Similarly, the velocity along y-axis or y component of velocity is given by dy by dt. We differentiate this y with respect to t. Then here again a is constant and differentiation of sin omega t is omega cos omega t. And similarly, the z component of velocity can be obtained as dz by dt. We differentiate this z with respect to t. Then we get a omega. So we got x component of velocity, y component of velocity, and z component of velocity. Therefore, the velocity of the particle can be written as vxi plus vyj plus vzk in vector form. This is velocity of the particle in vector form. We know that when the vector is given, the magnitude of this vector is given by square root of vx square plus vy square plus vz square. We substitute these values vx, vy, vz. Okay. Then the square root of vx square. Vx is minus a omega sin omega t. Its square becomes a square y square sin square omega t plus vy square. Vy is a omega cos omega t. Its square is a square omega square cos square omega t. Next vz square. Vz is a omega. Its square is a square omega square. Now in these three terms we can take a square omega square common. Then we will take a square omega square common. When we take a square omega square here, what remains? Sin square omega t. Similarly, in the second term, if we take a square omega square, then cos square omega t. And here in the last term, when we take a square omega square, then here we get 1. Now, sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is 1. Sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is 1. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. Therefore, it becomes square root of 2 a square omega square. Or we can write it as square root of 2 a omega. This is the magnitude of velocity and this is our answer.
The next question is, the stream of a river is flowing with a speed of 2 km per hour. A swimmer can swim at a speed of 4 km per hour. What should be the direction of the swimmer with respect to the flow of the river to cross the river straight? The options are: first one 90 degree, second 150 degree, third 120 degree, and fourth 60 degree.
Suppose this is the direction of flow of river. I will write it as Vr. Vr is speed of river. And this is the direction of swimming. I will write it as Vs. This is the direction of swimming. Now the question is, what is the angle made by swimmer with respect to flow of the river? Means we have to find this angle. We have to find this angle so that the swimmer reaches the other side of the river straight. We should get resultant in this direction. Suppose this angle is theta. Let us take this angle as theta. Then the component of Vs along this becomes Vs cos theta. Sorry, Vs sin theta. Vs sin theta is component of Vs. Now this we can balance these two. We can write Vs sin theta is equal to Vr. Therefore, sin theta is equal to Vr by Vs. Vr is speed of river. Speed of river is 2 km per second, and Vs is speed of swimming. It is 4 km per hour. So we get 1 by 2. So sin theta is equal to 1 by 2. So this implies theta is equal to 30 degree. This theta is equal to 30 degree. But we have to find this angle, the direction of swimming with respect to flow of river. So this is equal to 90 plus this theta. Therefore, the angle made by the swimmer with the direction of river is 90 plus 30. 90 plus 30 degree is equal to 120 degree. This is the angle made by the swimmer with respect to the flow of river.
Next question. Two particles are projected from the same point with the same speed u such that they have the same range r but different maximum heights h1 and h2. Which of the following is correct? First one, r square equal to 4h1 h2. Second one, r square equal to 16h1 h2. Third one, r square equal to 2h1 h2. 4, r square equal to h1 h2.
It is given that two particles are projected from the same point with same initial velocity. Their range is also same, but height is different. Their range is same means their angle of projection must be theta and 90 minus theta, because we know that for these two angles of projection we get the same range. So for first particle, let us take theta. Then the height reached by the first particle becomes u square sin square theta divided by 2g. And second particle, I write h2. For second particle, the angle of projection will be 90 minus theta. So we can write u square sin square 90 minus theta, sin square 90 minus theta divided by 2g. But we know that sin of 90 minus theta means cos theta. So this becomes u square cos square theta divided by 2g. Now h1 into h2, we multiply these two. h1 into h2 is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g into u square cos square theta divided by 2g, or we can write it as u square into u square u raised to 4, and here sin square theta cos theta means sin theta cos theta square divided by 4g square. Or we can write it as u raised to 4. I will take here 2 sin theta cos theta square divided by, here I have multiplied with 2 square. So in the denominator also we will multiply with 2 square. 2 square means 4. So 4 into 4 it becomes 16g square. Why I multiplied with 2 here? Because to bring it to a standard form. You know that 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. Therefore it becomes u raised to 4 sin 2 theta square divided by 16g square. But we also know that r is equal to range. R is equal to what? Range is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. So we will write it in that form. We will write u square sin 2 theta square. U raised to 4 I have written it as u square, and sine 2 theta square divided by g square, 16 g square. So here this u square sine 2 theta by g is u square sine 2 theta by g is r. Therefore it becomes r square by 16. Therefore h1 into h2 is equal to r square by 16. This is the answer.
Next question. A plane is inclined at an angle alpha equal to 30 degree with respect to the horizontal. A particle is projected with a speed u is equal to 2 meter per second from the base of the plane as shown in the figure. The distance from the base at which the particle hits the plane is close to. Take g equal to 10 meter per second square. The options are: first one 20 centimeter, second one 18 centimeter, third one 26 centimeter, and fourth one 14 centimeter.
A plane is inclined to the horizontal. The angle of inclination of the plane with the horizontal is 30 degree. Okay, and a particle is projected from the base of the plane. Then it goes like this. Suppose this is the velocity of projection, and it makes angle 15 degree. This is given in the problem, and u is equal to 2 meter per second. Then the question is, at what distance from the bottom it hits the plane? Means we have to find this distance. This is nothing but range. Okay, we have already learnt that on a horizontal, from a horizontal surface, when a particle is projected, the range is given by r is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. But if the particle is projected from the inclined plane, then r is given by r is equal to u square sine theta cos theta plus alpha divided by g cos square alpha. You remember this formula, it is important. When the particle is projected from the inclined plane, we have to apply this formula. I will give you one more formula, and for time of flight also, t is equal to, when the particle is projected from the horizontal surface, what is the formula for t, time of flight? 2u sin theta by g. But here it will be 2u sin theta divided by g cos alpha. You remember these two formulae when the particle is projected from the inclined plane. In this problem we are not using this, but you remember this. Okay, so now u is given, u is how much? 2. So 2 square is 4. Then sin theta, what is the value of theta here? 15 degree, sin 15 degree. Then cos theta plus alpha, this is theta and this is alpha. It is also given in the problem. Okay, so theta plus alpha means 45 degree divided by g, acceleration due to gravity, we take it as 10 meter per second square. Then cos alpha, that is cos 30 degree. Now you simplify this. If we simplify, okay, 4 sin 15 is root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 root 2. This is the value of sin 50. Then the cos 45, you already know that. Know it is 1 by root 2. Then divided by 10 into cos square 30. Cos 30 is 1 by 2. Sorry, root 3 by 2. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2 square. Now if we simplify, this will be approximately equal to 0.20 meter, or it is 20 centimeter. So 20 centimeter is the answer.
Let us take the next question. A shell is fired from a fixed artillery gun with an initial speed u such that it hits the target on the ground at a distance r from it. If t1 and t2 are the values of the time taken by it to hit the target in two possible ways, the product t1 t2 is: first one r by 4g, second r by g, third r by 2g, and fourth one 2r by g.
A shell is fired from a gun, and the possibility of it hitting the target are two. In the first case, it takes time t1 to hit the target, and in the second case, it takes time t2 to hit the target. See, in both the cases, target is same. Target is same means range is same. So we get same range for two angles of projection. One is theta and another one is 90 minus theta. So in the first case, let us assume that the angle of projection is theta. Then the t1 can be written as t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. Then in the second case, it hits the same range. That means it hits the same target. That means range is same. So to get the same range, the angle of projection must be 90 minus theta. So here I will write 2u sin 90 minus theta divided by g. And it is also given that the velocity of projection is same. Therefore, we are taking u in both the cases. Now multiply these two, t1 into t2. We get, and one more step, here 2u sin 90 minus theta means cos theta. So we write it as 2u cos theta divided by g. Now we will multiply t1 and t2. t1 into t2. Okay, this into this. So we get 4u square sin theta cos theta divided by, in the denominator, g into g square. Okay, we will write this as, I will write it like this: u square, then the 2 sin theta cos theta divided by g. Here one g, I will take one more g here, g into g square. Okay, why I wrote it like this? Because here 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So to bring it to the standard form, I have written it in this way. Okay, so then it becomes 2 u square sin 2 theta divided by g, and one more g here. Okay, but you know that u square sin 2 theta by g is range. It gives you range of the projectile. So in place of this, I will write r. Then it becomes 2r by g. So t1 into t2 is equal to 2r by g is the answer.
Now let us take the last question of today's video. The trajectory of a projectile near the surface of the earth is given as y equal to 2x minus 9x square. If it were launched at an angle theta naught with speed v naught, then the options are: first one, theta naught equal to sine inverse of 1 by root 5 and v naught equal to 5 by 3 meter per second. Second one, theta naught equal to cos inverse of 2 by root 5 and v naught equal to 3 by 5 meter per second. Third, theta naught equal to cos inverse of 1 by root 5 and v naught equal to 5 by 3 meter per second. Fourth one, theta naught equal to sine inverse of 2 by root 5 and v naught equal to 3 by 5 meter per second.
Here the trajectory of a projectile is given, y equal to 2x minus 9x square. We compare it with standard equation of trajectory of a projectile. The trajectory of a projectile is given by y is equal to tan theta x minus 1 by 2 gx square divided by u square cos square theta. Now we will compare these two equations. Here coefficient of x is tan theta, here coefficient of x is 2. So we get tan theta is equal to 2. So tan theta is equal to 2 means, how do we define tan theta? Tan theta is defined as opposite by adjacent. Okay. So if you take a right angle triangle and if this is theta naught, here it is given that the angle of projection is theta naught. So let us write theta naught and velocity of projection is u naught. Okay. So then it is opposite and this is hypotenuse and this is adjacent. So here tan theta is equal to 2 means we can write 2 by 1. Then opposite side becomes 2 and adjacent side becomes 1. If this is 2, this is 1, then hypotenuse should be root 5. Because hypotenuse square is equal to this square plus this square, right? Therefore root 5. So why I am doing this? Because to here we have to find the value of cos theta. Now how do we define cos theta? Cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. So here adjacent is 1 and hypotenuse is root 5. So cos theta naught is equal to hypotenuse by root 5. Therefore we can write theta naught is equal to cos inverse of 1 by root 5. We got the value of theta naught. Now you substitute the value of cos theta naught here. Now you compare coefficients of x square. Here coefficient of x square is 9 and here coefficient of x square is this, right? So we will compare them. Then we will get 1 by 2 g divided by u naught square cos square theta naught is equal to 9. So this implies, now I will put the value of cos theta here. Then it becomes 1 by 2 and the g value is 10 divided by u naught square. We have to find u naught now, right? And cos square theta naught. Here cos theta is 1 by root 5. So cos square theta is 1 by 5. So that is equal to okay, now here 2 ones are 2 5s are. Now it becomes 25 by u naught square. 25 by u naught square. Therefore u naught square will be equal to u naught square is equal to 25 by 9. Okay, because we will send this 9 this side. It comes here and this comes other side. Then this implies u naught is equal to square root of this, that is 5 by 3. So u naught value is 5 by 3 meter per second and cos theta naught is 1 by root 5 or theta naught is equal to cos inverse of 1 by 5. This is our answer.
I hope the video was useful to you. If you find it useful, please subscribe, like it and share it to your friends. Thank you.